All right, let's take a look at another sign here. And this first part up here, 영업시간, is a common thing that you'll see on places of business to indicate the opening hours of a particular place of business. So obviously this is saying when this place opens and when this place closes. Now, this AM and PM, you already know what that means, and this is the time. And it's funny because they're using the Korean bun here. This bun means minute. In both cases, it means minute. And they're using the Korean bun to indicate the minute time, or the minute part of the time, but not the Korean word shi to indicate the hour time. I kind of feel this is a little weird to me because they're using bun here, but if they're going to use the Korean part, you'd think that they'd say 11시 and then 30분. That would be the Korean way to write this. The English way, or I guess maybe the Western way to write this, would be to just say 11:30. And there's sort of a mix here between the Korean way and the English way. I don't know why they decided to do that. But anyways, this is saying the bun here is to indicate that it's the 30th minute of the 11th hour. But if you're going to do it that way, like I'm saying, they should have put a she here and they should have put a she here. But for whatever reason, they didn't. I won't hold it against them. Now, 부타 and kaji, you're probably aware, I teach this in lesson 12. And they indicate that buta is put on sometimes places, but in this case a time to indicate from when something happens. So from this time. And then kaji is put on sometimes places, but in this case a time to indicate to when or until when. So obviously this is saying, you don't need to be rocket science to figure this out. This is saying that the opening hours are from 11:30 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. Now, I think that's the easy part of the sign. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this sign specifically is because what we have down here. Now, oftentimes in Korean restaurants, they're often closed not once a week, but sometimes a few times a month, maybe once or twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month. And then the way that they do this is they'll often close sort of on the first and the third Monday of every month, or maybe they'll close on the second and the fourth Wednesday of every month. They don't usually close on the same day every week, but every second week they might close on a particular day. And that's sort of this cultural thing that I wanted to bring up, and at the same time teach you how they would say that on a sign. So what this 첫째 and 셋째, those are just ways, and I actually teach this in lesson 10 here, where I teach numbers and where I teach about how to say first and second and stuff like that. I talk about how you can say 첫째 and 둘째 and 셋째 to say first, second, third, or fourth. So what this is saying is this is the first. Write that down. This is the first, and this is the third. And 주 in both cases means week. And what this is saying is in a particular month, the first week and the third week, and then this word here, 월요일, means Monday. And this un is the subject particle. So this is saying that, if I'm going to write this in English, the first and third week Monday, or I guess if I'm going to write that even better in English, the Monday on the first and third week of a particular month is, and the is here is this imnida, and then the key word here is, well, what is this? So the first and third Monday of every month is going to be whatever this 휴무 means. And 휴무, I'm going to break this down just a little bit. 휴 refers to some sort of resting, some sort of break, or it's often used in holidays. So for example, the word holiday in Korean is 휴일. That's the word, sort of like a holiday as in, like Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day or something like that. Those would be 휴일. So those are holidays. And mu refers to some sort of work. So if this is rest, and mu means work in this case, what this is saying, well, this is, I guess you could say it's a holiday. In this case, I guess you could translate this to a holiday. But 휴무 basically refers to the day or the time in which some sort of business will be resting. And that's how this rest work is able to mean that sort of thing. It's kind of hard to translate this word directly into English, but I guess if I was going to translate this, I would just say closed. But Humu is sort of more specific than that. It's specifically that's the day that this place is going to close. And I guess that's the best way to translate is to close. But Humu, you'll see it very often on doors as you walk into restaurants, and it'll say, oh, the first and third Monday of every month, it's going to be this Humu. And this Humu refers to the day in which this business is going to be resting, or the day that they're going to take off. So in other words, they are closed. Well, that was fun. I hope you learned a lot.